Well, Scott, we've learned a lot. We actually just talked to witnesses a moment ago. Colts player Pat McAfee was on 56th Street during this crash. But let me get you to what we're looking at right over here. Police seem to be talking to one man who may have been involved in this crash. They have handcuffs on that man at this point. Again, this is at 56th in Northfield here in Brownsburg. Several cars, as Kevin Rader just mentioned, are involved in this accident. But I need to tell you, Scott, that we did just talk again to Colts player Pat McAfee, who was driving along 56th Street when he says one of the SUVs involved in this crash almost ran into him. He said he had to kind of get to the side of the road because he thought he was going to be hit. And then eventually, when the traffic moved away and that SUV headed down 56th Street, he says he came up onto what was the end of this scene, which is this crash you're looking at.
They're going through the intersection. They just crashed, Nicole.
Tracy Black quickly ran outside Wednesday after she heard the sirens.
It was devastating, you know, right here in your backyard.
And saw this car on fire.
But I could hear the cops yelling.
Charles, a couple ambulances right now in this intersection.
A chase that started in Marion County with two teens ended just a few feet away from her Brownsburg home. My back door was unlocked. I thought later, you know, they got out of the vehicle, you know, they could have run, you know, come into the house. You kind of feel defenseless, and you think about, you know, how careful you need to be and what you need to do to prepare, you know, for safety. Police say the teens stole this Explorer from the southeast side of Indy and eventually went speeding down 56th, ending here when they hit two other cars. Innocent people involved, and there was a baby doll laying on the ground. I just saw them get the man out of the red car with the stretcher, and, you know, thankfully he was okay. The young girl and mother in the Honda Pilot were not hurt, but the driver and passenger in the mangled red car were taken to St. Vincent Hospital. A chase and crash that rattled this community. I have kids, and they're a little bit older, but you just think about, you know, them being involved. And it makes you tear up? It does. It does. Emotional anyway, but anything to, you know, happen this close to home, it is devastating. This chase was a long chase, 18 miles long, beginning in Marion County and ending here in Brownsburg. A lot of people were caught up in that chase, including Indianapolis Colts punter Pat McAfee.
My light turned green, and as I was pulling out, I looked back, and there was this SUV flying by me, and he almost T-boned me basically, so I swerved into the middle.
Well, and we've got the best view in town, and I could tell you that earlier between our 5 and 6 o'clock broadcast, we did see some backups downtown. Let's take you live above here on Chopper 13 HD, a live look below at West Street. Right now, it looks clear. That's great news for drivers. Earlier, I can't tell you, though, that's where we saw a backup as people used West Street to get onto 70 eastbound and then eventually head south and make their way around this construction project. Obviously, drivers are dealing with this construction project along the interstate, but it's not just drivers. Homeowners living near the north and the south split also need to adjust to this nearly 2-month-long construction project. It's expected to take crews 59 days to lower the roadway here along I-65 and I-70. INDOT officials tell Eyewitness News the state filed a special permit with the city of Indianapolis for crews to do this work 24/7 if needed.
You can hear it, and you know, if you're in a certain room in the house, you definitely feel it once in a while, but it's not too bad.
Kevin Smith's house on English Avenue is the closest neighborhood to all this noise. For the first phase of this project, crews are focused on breaking apart and removing the concrete to eventually lower the road by 10 inches to prevent this from happening again. Smith says he's heard these larger trucks hit the Fletcher Avenue Bridge overpass, causing damage and safety concerns.
You heard it. It was a pretty good bang. We're not going to lose our bridge, and that they've taken care of the safety issues for us.
Smith says he'll put up with the possible 24-hour noise because he's focused on the big picture.
It's going to be over soon. It's not here forever, so it'll be a good change when it's all done.
And a live look below on the ground there at South Madison and McCarty. That's where commuters, as they got out of downtown this evening, they were using that to eventually get on I-65 to avoid the construction project. A live look right here now on Chopper 13 HD as we look above at the South Split project. Again, both the North Split and the South Split are going to be closed for the next 2 months. Eyewitness News can keep you updated on how to survive the split. We've got more information online at WTHR.com and, of course, also on our newscast. Reporting live from Chopper 13 HD, Nicole Pence, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
This afternoon, right now, cloudy skies. We'll see a high this afternoon near 80. Right now,
A way to get Hoosiers' opinions. It's trending on Twitter. Hashtag Dear Congress.
Come on over here. We brought it out to the streets so other people who aren't on social media can also write their opinion. Good, how are you?
Lebanon resident Zach Logan was the first Hoosier to sound off.
Please do your job. We pay you too much not to. Think about the furloughed government employees, the people who need their paychecks. The Affordable Care Act has been passed. It's law. Get over it.
I could write a book, but I can't.
A way for citizens to let the representatives know what they think.
Thanks, Repubs, for not caving.
I'm going to steal yours, thinks it's smarter.
For some, it's a one-word answer.
Behave. Something that could have been avoided.
Purple's your favorite color?
Recent graduate Shauna Feynman is worried the government shutdown could affect her federally funded fellowship.
Think of us, because I think Congress got a little carried away with their arguments with each other, and I think they kind of forgot who they serve.
Work it out.
Bringing the social media world to Monument Circle, where every opinion can be heard.
Well, I'd ask him to get to work.
Nicole Pence, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Yes, John and Andrea, that's right. We're here actually behind the home that actually started this entire fire. That's what fire crews tell me. We showed you what was up above from Chopper 13 HD. We're showing you what's on the ground here, and let's show you what it looked like right when those flames came out of that house. A total of 4 homes were damaged, and let's go now to this video up close so you can see it at home. 4 total homes were damaged, and Fishers Fire Department is leading this investigation, and they tell me that the center house on this street caught fire first, and the man inside at the time said he heard the smoke alarm, ran into the hallway, saw flames, and grabbed his dog and ran out. Now, to the right of his home, an elderly woman, and she also managed to escape with her dog. She was very rattled. None of those homeowners wanted to talk with us on camera, which is understandable. Now, her house also appears to be a total loss. That fire also jumped to a 3rd house to the left, and 2 guys doing contracting work in that neighborhood rushed to that 3rd house to help. A very heavily populated neighborhood in this Fishers neighborhood off of 116th Street. I should also point out, because of all the fire trucks and the hoses in this neighborhood at the time, a school bus was actually rerouted. Those kids were dropped off at a different location. We've got a lot more to talk about concerning this fire here in this Fishers neighborhood, and we'll come back to you at 6 o'clock.
I need group 3 over here with me.
Always a busy day in Mrs. Kennedy's classroom.
And can you and Riley kind of scooch together?
2nd graders moving from workstation to workstation. Instead of dragging chairs, they're rolling them.
I like the balls because we don't have to, like, if we had those chairs, we couldn't be able to, like, move around.
What was the first thing you thought?
This is going to be a fun year.
Fun and focused. Mrs. Kennedy says she got the idea to sit her students on these stability balls from Pinterest.
Let's look at this one again.
The Center Grove Education Foundation gave the elementary teacher a grant to add 28 stability balls to her classroom.
I mean, even as adults, we have the wiggles and we have a lot of energy, and so especially with the young kids, while they're sitting here, you know, just like this, you see them and they kind of can move from side to side and up and down, and they're able to release that energy without even really thinking about it.
I kind of like it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to order a red Trojan Center Grove one for my office.
I had a comfortable conversation with Principal Bruce Haddix, who agreed to Mrs. Kennedy's idea. The principal says these seats also give the students more mobility.
And he's noticed, even if they're bouncing a bit, they're paying attention longer.
I see a difference in the classroom with the way the kids can focus, and that's going to do nothing but help us when it comes to our test scores or, our achievements.
It's way more comfortable than sitting on middle.
The students are allowed to wiggle and sway while they learn, but there are some rules.
Right, when they're working, we're not bouncing. They can move from side to side and bounce a little, but they can't do... Right, because you could get hurt.
A progressive learning tool that rolls right under their desk. Will you ever give up your bouncy ball? No. Nicole Pence, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.